Well, good afternoon, Dr. Sharma. This is Mark Vasconcelos, and I am blessed today to be able to interview Dr. Sharma, Dr. Dave Sharma, who is presently in Guyana, South America. Dr. Sharma is a good friend of mine. We have worked together in Guyana, an individual with great credentials as a doctor, as a psychiatrist, and I look forward to speaking with Dr. Sharma today, specifically on behavioral science and mental health, dealing with the current pandemic situation. Although he is in Guyana and I am in North Carolina, USA, around the world, we are dealing with the same issue. And it is causing a lot of anxiety in the lives of people. Lives are being disrupted and people are in a difficult situation around the world. So welcome, Dr. Sharma. It is so good to see you again, sir.
Well, thank you, Dr. Mark, and good to be with you. I'm blessed to be with you, and thanks for seeking me out to share my thoughts on this troubling viral pandemic. So you were asking about what's the general feel in the public, and I think it's not only here in Guyana, but worldwide, a sense of anxiety and fear that people now see that the reality of death is there in all of our lives. We have a denial to that, and that sometimes makes us not think deeply. And once I see this viral attack on our lives is really terrible, it's also something for us to reflect on, because it's giving people a time now to think about what's most important in life, and that's where the family is. And in a way, it's forcing people to make time to be with family and be connected. If you think about it, we've seen studies showing that people have been caught up so much with the materialistic drive that they're all busy working and there is no time for themselves, and we're all connected to headphones. Now we're connected to masks. So it's a change, but truly there is concern in terms of how people are emotionally reacting. But just wanted to throw in that little philosophical slant. Well, let us think also, what is it doing to us, so that at the end of the day, how can we come out of this stronger as an individual, as a family, as a church, as a people, as a nation, as a world, because we've seen how the world is connected. It's a pandemic, so it's nobody is exempt. We're all in this together.
Absolutely, Doc, absolutely. And I know you have very good credentials, not only in Guyana, but in many other countries. And for those people that might be seeing you for the first time, can you share a little bit of and I know you're a very humble professional, a humble man, but can you share a little bit your credentials in terms, I know you're a professor and practicing psychiatrist. I've worked with you in Guyana just earlier this year. In February, we were doing some work in terms of medical and dental outreach in Guyana. And you've developed curriculums in other countries, and people have looked into your work. And so, but share a little bit with the people who do not know you in the countries you have worked and the capacity you've worked.
Yeah, well, I've been fortunate to have done my medical degree, which I always wanted to do. I finished my medical degree in Punjab, India, and then went on to finish my doctorate in medicine, focusing both in clinical neurology and psychiatry. And, I'm now being involved. That was at the University of West Indies, and then went to work with uh, Grenada, and was working with a group uh, consultancy that came in after, they had the Grenada intervention. And that was called the Project Hope, the people off the ship, and they came in to rebuild the psychiatric service in Grenada. So I was again fortunate to be in that program as the consultant psychiatrist. Then went off to live in Dominica for many, many years and work also with this university, Ross Medical School, which has produced many residents in the USA. So I held the position of chair as behavioral sciences and also was during my time in Dominica attached with PAHO, Pan American Health, and was a consultant with them. So again, was able to move around the Caribbean doing training in the areas of disaster management, focusing on psychosocial well-being and how to cope with disasters, which we're somewhat faced with now. It's a disastrous situation. And then more recently, I came back to Guyana to be back home, be with, be with my parents who are elderly, give them the support, and now currently attached to the Woodlands Hospital and the St. Joseph Mercy Hospital to do some clinical teaching for Texila School of Medicine. And now again back with Pan American Health as a consultant, advising on the psychosocial response for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean islands. So that's a nutshell of what's going on and what went on with me and what's going on currently.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharma. And obviously, you deal with individuals who are going through a very difficult time. And one of the areas I would just like for you to touch on would be anxiety. A lot of people, because of the disruption in their lives, because of their daily routine, change so dramatically overnight, and the fear they have no control over the future. And you touched on the area of faith and so forth. What would you say that what are the common things that people will experience who are suffering from some degree of anxiety? And then after that, what do they need to do or how do they need to approach this situation?
Okay. So the common warning signs that anxiety is affecting an individual are looking at what we call natural thermometers, or these are things within ourselves that can tell us that we're not at our best. Generally feeling not well, feeling tired, not able to get out of bed, started feeling kind of what they call rundown, and then not being able to eat as much, losing pleasure in what we usually do, loss of interest in our partners in terms of intimacy, feeling that, I'm getting too tired to take on new tasks, can't even concentrate on the work that I'm doing, getting irritable, feeling like little things that would not have frustrated one before, it's now becoming a problem, and snapping away at kids and partners. Sleep is a very good indicator of good health. So healthy sleeps meaning falling asleep within 5 to 10 minutes. So the person with anxiety tends to take a long time and they sit there, they lie there, sorry, thinking all kind of negative thoughts and worrying thoughts and reflecting on the day and the future. So this is a general feeling of overwhelming tension. Not being able to fall asleep, or if they fall asleep, it's not restful. They're sleeping for very short period of times and then they wake up early and they can't go back to sleep. Often anxiety is linked to depression, so there could be an element of depression going on. Then you got the other symptoms of anxiety that might be more critical. In the sense the person is getting panic attacks, where they feel this rush of anxiety, with their heart racing and they're sweating and the breathing is rapid, and they may be terrified that they've just got the COVID virus and it's affecting their health. They're going to die. So it's a panic attack, and it tends to clear up in about 10 minutes. So some people may have it for longer. There's a fear response that I'm seeing also to the virus, where people are just afraid of going outdoor. They also becoming extremely obsessed with cleanliness. So to the point of becoming, sick emotionally, because they feel they've touched something and now they've got it on their finger, and they can, what are they going to do with this finger? They're going to wash it for 10, 20 times, and maybe even more. So it's taking over their lives, and they're not living a regular life where, as you said, it's an unnatural situation. We're asked to be away from each other. Human beings are social
Mhm.
naturally, and we are asked to be socially distant from one another. I think the word social distance is not right because we should think about it. It's physical distancing. Social distancing, we can still have that, and we should be encouraging social connection, not
Mhm.
encouraging social. I don't know what they mean physical distancing, but using the word social distancing is not right because it's trying to tell you to keep away from each other, and that's not right. We should be more connected. And that comes to what can we do about these anxiety feelings if somebody is going through it. Trying to take self-care is good. Often anxiety becomes a problem where it's difficult to manage on our own, but we could try. We should try good hygiene, sleep habits that are good, keep to the same time, drink some relaxing tea before we go to sleep. Make sure that we're eating well, our nutrition is good. Exercise is important, especially if somebody's not working and they're at home. They get too tired and they're stuck in front of a computer and they're watching all these social medias and TV, and they're seeing a lot of stressful events out there. They get preoccupied. So there should be some limit to information that we're seeing. Information overload can be too much for the brain. It becomes overwhelmed. So having a balance in one's life, enjoying the time with the kids, doing things that are protective of each other in the home, going outdoors, breathing the air. It doesn't mean that some people are saying that the virus is falling from the sky. I mean, we got to be realistic. It's in the droplets that people are coughing out. So, let's be sensible about life. If we can make it on our own, the sleep continues to be a problem and we're feeling really down or anxious or tense, or when we have to seek out help. If we can make it by face-to-face contact and appointments with our physician, good. If we can't, then do it through our programs. Let's log into our counselor. We get into our pastoral counselors, supportive groups, or medical counselors. There are a lot of programs now that offer telecounseling and telepsychological help, so doctors can actually call in prescriptions and so on. So it depends where we are and what access are there. But many places now are offering these tele support services. So do reach out to them. No, there's nothing to be embarrassed about feeling tense or feeling anxious. It's being honest. If a person has a pre-existing condition, they feel terrified that they may catch the virus or their workplace is not safe, then by all means they should try to protect themselves as much as possible. Maybe seek time to be at home to be safe. So those are some of the general guidelines. I would like the critical elements of that: be well emotionally by keeping the body physically well, keeping the mind spiritually at peace and connected to our maker. Our healer is there to protect all of us. Keep the faith, keep the family, keep our focus. So keeping those things going, exercise, good sleep regime,
Mhm.
uh, good nutritional regime, good family time. Very, very critical to good well-being.
Fantastic, Doctor. You've touched on a lot of information and important uh, aspects of a person's life and their thoughts. Sleep, you mentioned about the importance of sleep, and also the link to other conditions as a consequence of anxiety, such as depression and panic attacks. Uh, with regard to individuals, and I've worked with you, and I remember many times people came to you and they knew their condition, they knew the issue they had, and many times they, for example, they have medication for their condition, and they did not uh, follow the instructions from the doctor, such as take this medication twice a day. So obviously, for circumstances trying to stretch it, they might take it
Mm-hmm.
once a day. And
Mm-hmm.
you spoke about they need to seek help, which is a great uh, 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 great advice, whether it's a doctor, pastoral counseling, or some kind of help, but just to seek help. People who are seeking help, but yet they refuse to, but not intentionally, but sometimes circumstances, they do not take the medication as prescribed from a medical doctor. To those individuals who struggle with the same issue, what would be your suggestion as they seek help again and they come
Mhm.
back and they say, well, I just didn't take the medication I should have? Uh, how would you give them, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, well, if it comes to medications, which is usually our kind of last resort, because you want to try getting the body to respond naturally first, or through self-help techniques, or maybe some cognitive retraining our mind to be more positive in the way we think. So if these are not working and say a panic attack is there, then it would need medications. So medications are valuable and it should be used properly. Like anything, if it's abused or not used properly, it will become ineffective. We see the importance of taking antibiotics in a proper way. The abuse of antibiotics is a concern because they're now not working because they were overused. So one does not want to make our patients dependent on medication, yet it's safe for patients to be on prescribed sleep meds under the doctor's control. Dependency problems will be managed if they arise. So being with your doctor, following him, trusting him and her was very critical. Follow the directions. One of the things I would really caution people against is to look too much at what web sources offer in terms of medications advice. They usually would put every adverse effect the drug has. Reality wise, the doctor will be choosing the best, even the best of the meds, which, say, for example, I've used with my medical students and have very, very low adverse effects. They still would have those adverse effects posted. We know they're very, very rare in terms of occurrence, but the websites don't say that. They will highlight something that may be very rare, but very frightening and say, well, don't be using this because it causes this. Sometimes they may have an interest in sabotaging one drug because they have an interest in another drug being promoted. So it's very confusing the internet. That's why we have physicians who we're hopefully trained well in terms of giving advice that is the best for a person. As I said, it doesn't mean that people wouldn't have adverse effects, but generally we are choosing. I know the medications that are being made are very, very safe. They're much better. But using the internet for guidance in terms of choosing medications or treatment is not good. Using the internet or the web to get to a professional, that's very good. Okay, so caution where it comes to all these resources about doctors out there that are not qualified. To become a physician takes a long time. It takes a lot of training,
It
and
does.
it follows guidelines, and we got to behave ourselves properly as physicians. So hopefully we are here to protect our patients, not to harm them, and there must be that element of trust that comes with patient care. So the patient should trust what the doctor is doing, and if they feel there's some concern, then they should have the opportunity to express it and not feel afraid of their doctors to say, "Well, doc, I'm not feeling so good with this medication. Do we have another choice, or why am I feeling this way?"
Well,
So
Doc,
open communication, respect for the directions that your medications are given. That's the way to go.
Doc, it has been a blessing. Look forward to having another episode where we can get further in detail in terms of treatment. And you are a blessing to so many people, especially just for the record, both of us are Guyanese. So we've done a lot of work in Guyana, and you continue to do a lot of work in Guyana. Guyana is blessed to have you there, a well-trained doctor to help people. As you said, the internet can be helpful, but it also can lead people in the wrong direction. And people tend to self-medicate based on some one on the internet who have no clue of their credentials. So
That's right.
we're thankful for your advice, and we look forward to a to another segment. We look forward to actually, we've been working for the last few years on a curriculum for an
Yeah.
online curriculum with Victory University. And so I look forward to speaking with you again and to working. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to have an outreach April, in a few weeks, April 25th, 2020. And obviously that's not going to happen this time, but hopefully soon we'll be able to team up again. But I look forward to speaking with you again. And you stay safe, continue to stay the course. You care so much about your patients, you care so much about high medical and ethical standards. I met some of your current students February this year. I wish them my best. I'm confident you will continue to impact so many lives as you train doctors. And I think my own nephew, while he was in medical school, Dr. Vasconcelos, Andy, I know
Mhm.
that you were a blessing to him during his medical studies and to so many students, not only in Guyana, but around the world. So we were blessed to have you today. And I thank you so much for always finding the time. I think you squeeze a little bit more than 24 hours out of the day, but you find the time to help so many people. And I'm confident people that will be able to watch this will benefit. And thank you. May God bless you. And I'm confident we will have another session sometime soon. Any final thoughts, Doc?
Oh, no, thank you, Dr. Mark. And, just to say that I wish everybody safety and keep our faith and know that the good Lord has his plan for us and that we are working in all that we do is by his grace. So I thank you for what you say and I appreciate being part of your program and hopefully we'll get our curriculum going and we'll be able to spread the proper messages, correct words, the advice that I have, you have, in terms of spirituality, the medical advice that I have can work together as a very powerful force for good. And together we can do it, we will do it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And well, we look forward precisely to that curriculum of merging the behavior science with faith. And you know, that is right up my avenue. And so, but God bless you. And thank you so much, Dr. Sharma. And until the next time, thank you for joining. God bless you.
Thank you.